Shalom, everybody.
Shalom.
Shalom. Pray this lesson go out with sincerity, spirit of Yah be in it. We have the Rock Shabbat lesson. Tonight's lesson going to be over the importance of the color and look of Yahusha HaMashiach.
Wow.
The importance of his look and color. Okay? We're going to start in Genesis chapter 2. We're going to give you the foundation of the characteristics of him and the look of him. We're going to start in Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. Genesis 2, verse 7. Genesis 2, verse 7 reads, "And El formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul." So, you got some things right here, some factors, that he went to the ground, to the dust, like the potter with the clay. He formed Adam out of the dirt. Now, what color is dirt? You got some soil right here. If you ever go to the Home Depot, any place you want to go, you want to get some soil for your garden, you want to grow something, some carrots, some vegetables, some zucchinis, whatever you want to grow, some plants. This is what you typically don't see, and this is what you typically want to see. Brown dirt, dark brown dirt. These are the things. So we got to remember also, because there's people would say there's different colors of dirt, which is true. There's red dirt and all this stuff, but when you make a garden, you want one type of dirt. It's that dark, rich brown dirt. That's it. You don't want no red dirt. You don't want no light brown dirt. You want, you know what I'm saying, that dark brown dirt. So, as using this understanding about garden, because where he formed Adam was in the Garden of Eden, which was rich soil, which you would see like this in these pictures. Brownish dirt. Nothing outside of brownish dirt was there. So, further on, we're going to go to Psalms of Solomon. We're building the foundation of Yahusha HaMashiach's look. This is very important. Psalms of Solomon. So y'all got the dirt. There's no way out of that one. No. And it's not about, better than anything, or it's just about, you're going to see the importance of his look. You need to know this stuff, or you're gonna be tripped up. That's why everything that's written in the Bible is important. I know a lot of times when the race and look of Yahusha HaMashiach is spoken of, the words "it doesn't matter" start coming up, which is not true, because his look, it does matter. And then they say, well, we don't know how he looked. That's not biblical. That means you're lying, or you're just unstudied, and that's bad. Either which one. All right. Psalms of Solomon, verse 1. Chapter 1, verse 5 to 6. "I am black, but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tent of Kendar, as the curtains of Solomon. Look not upon me, because I am black, because the sun hath looked upon me. My mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards. But mine own vineyard have I not kept." Okay? So what we got here? Chapter 1, verse 5 to 6. Mm-hmm. So we got here right here because some people will be like, well, anybody could be this, black. Only brownish or people with pigmentation get real dark when they're out in the sun. When you're out in the sun, Brother Ron probably changed about 3 shades darker. I probably started looking like Brother Ron, get about 2 or 3 shades darker. So what is going on here is a continuous darkening. It's not, not everybody have the level of pigmentation or a lack of pigmentation. It causes the sun to burn their skin. They start getting boiled. So certain people spend in the sun too long, they begin to have skin damage. And I'm going to show you that right here. Because all this stuff is important. You see, certain people, when they get in this, and this is when anybody with low levels of pigmentation, it affects them different, But Solomon right here is saying he's becoming darker. He's not getting harmed by the sun. Okay? Because some people, they really play stupid. So you really gotta close out all the ways out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because some people play stupid. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to admit who he really is. You know what I'm saying? So right here we have, this is David's son. This is very important why I went to Solomon. This is David's son, and David said, I am black, but comely, I'm beautiful. Okay? Now we're going to go to the Bible dictionary. The Zan Vander Compact Bible Dictionary. Right here. Okay. Because some people open up the door and say, well, he must be African. Ham. Well, let's clarify that. This is from the Zion Compact Bible Dictionary, right here. No black person wrote this. It's authored by, Europeans, Caucasian Europeans, so there was no agenda behind it, So, it was people must have wrote that. No, it wasn't. And it's not about race. This is about Yahusha character and his look. This is about him. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, because remember Noah had 3 sons when he got off the boat: Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Yeah, went in and left. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor, meaning he's the foundation, he's the forefather of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. His descendants, when his father lay drunk and brought a curse upon Canaan. So right here again, this book was not written by some pro-black people, or anything of that nature. This was not, So they know. They know. So if Negroes are not from Ham, that means they're either from Japheth or Shem. Now, they only fulfill the history of Shem, the Shemitic people, which came through the Hebrew Israelites, came through the Shemitic people. So they eliminate Japheth from that because they don't fulfill any prophecy dealing with Japheth. Each nation has its own prophecy in the Bible, and you can tell who's who from the Bible by seeing the prophecy upon that person. Now, let's go to, because some people will be like, well, he's that black, he must be African. No, he's not. He was just out in the sun. Now, let's go to Acts chapter 13, verse 1. Acts chapter 13, verse 1. because Yahusha, Yah and Yahusha Mashiach does not leave things ambiguous where nobody knows what's going on. That's not how he rolls. It's decently and in order. Nobody gonna be like, I didn't know you was coming. Nah, you know that's not true, Samantha. I told you I was coming. You was just playing around with everybody. Yeah, you knew I was coming, girl. Okay. This is Acts chapter 13, verse 1. Now, there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, and Barnabas and Simon, that were called Niger, Niger. Put one more G on there, same thing. Nigger, Niger, same thing. Just means black. Now, they have bywords for it, for insulting bywords, you know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, the root of it is dark. So, right. It is insults. That's why the scriptures say that you have become a byword. You know what I'm saying? Anytime somebody think about you, they can associate Negroes with something negative. You know what I'm saying? And Lucas of Cyrene and Mania, which had been brought up with Herod the treacherous and Saul. So I'm going to read Niger. What Niger means in the Bible, in the Compact Bible Dictionary. Okay? I couldn't find a picture of this, so I just read it. Hebrews got it. As soon as they sing that, they post it. Hebrews. Okay. Niger, surname of Simon, one of the 5 prophets and teachers of the church of Antioch, who were led of Yahusha to send forth Paul and Barnabas on the first missionary journey. So, I go here to establish another person that is of dark skin that is also a Hebrew Israelite. So, we have Solomon, we have Simon, all establishing they are of a dark pigmentation. Now, these are all Hebrew Israelites. So, if you got one Hebrew Israelite from another tribe that's dark, you got another Hebrew Israelite from a tribe that's dark over here. And then you got Adam who looked like brown, dark brown dirt. What's the likelihood of Yahusha Mashiach? Possibly, I know it's a stretch. Possibly, might be light brown. Might be. Some people don't want to give it up. We gonna get to it. I'm joking right now. I'm joking. You in Nigeria? Oh, Niger? Yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna go to the appearance of Yahusha Mashiach. So we have established a foundation that the Hebrew Israelites are known to be a dark pigment people. Even going back so forth, Adam was a dark pigment person. Okay? Now we're going to go to Matthew chapter 1, verse 1. Matthew chapter 1, verse 1. The book of the generations of Yahusha HaMashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Okay, so, obviously, anybody know Matthew chapter 1 is talking about genealogy to qualify him to be that person. That was all that I was about to tell his genealogy to say this is he. He came through the loins of David. But, going back to David, if he came through the loins of offspring of David through so many generations, and Solomon, his son, David's son Solomon, was dark. So again, we have established that a color, a pigmentation, a look, a possibility that Yahusha HaMashiach himself might be a dark-skinned man. Okay? Revelation chapter 22, verse 16. Revelation chapter 22, 22, verse 16. And you know, it's one thing just to know, like, yeah, everybody pretty much, oh yeah, we know that he a dark skinned brother, but in order to teach other people, we gotta know this stuff because they gonna be like, well, I don't see that in the Bible, so we have to be able to give it out to them. Be like, sit down, let me teach you. Okay.
I don't want to. I'm over there already. I haven't seen my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to show them go across the seas.
Well, at least give them an opportunity to see if they change their mind first when they hear the word. All right. I, Yahusha, verse 16. I, Yahusha, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David, meaning descendant, and the bright and morning star. So, Yahusha HaMashiach himself is taking root that, hey, I descend from David. Don't get this misconstrued. So, if David's children were dark-skinned, obviously that line was a dark-skinned line. Daniel chapter 10. Daniel chapter 10, verse 5 to 6. Daniel chapter 10, verse 5 to 6. Then I lift up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz. His body also was like pearl. It's like a shining, something shining. And his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire, and his arms and his feet like in the color to polished brass, and the voice of his words were like the voice of a multitude. Okay, now this Daniel right here is having a vision of Yahusha HaMashiach, and we're gonna get to that more characteristics about him in Revelations. But just to go into more details about, because some people are going to play, you know, the polished brass. Show some pictures of that too also. But different translations. And in this Bible right here, the polished translates to burnish. So when he's seeing, the proper translation would not be polished brass, it would be burnished brass. It's just a mistranslation in the King James Bible. So when he see this man, it's a dark-skinned man that he's seeing in this, as he's having this vision. And if you go to other translations like NIV did get that right, burnished, bronze, polished. So different translations go in between polished and bronze. But if you go into the deeper translation in Hebrew, it's going to be that polished is going to be a burnish. And some translations are better than others because they just show burnished bronze. So it eliminates the doubt that, okay, what is this talking about? Because they were like, okay, well, he was gold in color. That doesn't mean he was black. They always going to pick the, you know what I'm saying, what Bible I'm going to use. But if you go into Hebrew to pull it out, it's going to show the burnished brass. Okay? Because people ain't going to, you know, people don't want this to be. He can be green, he can be purple, he can be blue, but he can't be black. You know what I'm saying? He can't be black. You know what I'm saying?
He be green but not black.
I've heard they say he's olive skinned. You know what I'm saying? And like, I remember one brother say there's only two colors of olives. Green and black. So, either he green or blue. Well, he green. If he green, that means he's sick.
Green is a green.
Green has to be black.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
because, you know, people will look at it, because you have to establish and leave them no wrong, because they have to face the truth. Now, when the truth is presented to them, they have free will to make their own conclusion. But at least when they walk away, I couldn't run nowhere. Every avenue was locked down. I gotta admit that I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? And they don't have to like it. They don't have to believe it. But you can't have an opinion on his look, because opinions are dangerous. When the truth is there, opinion is dangerous.
Opinion is a form of speculation.
Mm-hmm. And speculation is good when there's no sound proof yet. Like, I just don't know. But when there's sound data there, opinion is dangerous. Because that means, well, I'm just going to go off with what I want to go off of. But the truth is right here. We know the truth. 2 plus 2 equals 4. There's no opinion in that. Okay? Now we're going to go to Revelations chapter 1, verse 13 to 15. So we went to Daniel. We seen the vision of he seen Yahusha Mashiach sitting down in all his might. You know, he's glowing just like the same thing when Moses came down. He was glowing because he was just radiating of the Spirit. That's all that face was. But his other body parts he was able to see, and he seen a dark-skinned male. Revelations chapter 1, 13 to 15. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, which we should know that the Son of Man is Yahusha HaMashiach, clothed with a garment down to his foot, and girt about the paps. So he had on a white garment, and he had on a girt. It's like some type of a belt attire that is customary in Hebrew. To the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. As we go to Daniel chapter 10, we see the similarities. Now, I seen a Caucasian pastor who was a lying devil, because he refused to go to the next verse, but we're going to clarify verse 14 first. His heads and hairs were white like wool. Again, we go to wool. Let's see some raw wool. Wool is a nappy-ish type of hair. You know what I'm saying? It's not because the hair follicles of people who have straight hair, their hair follicles are circular. People with kinky hair, their follicle hair structures is a little like a diamond, because when the hair comes out, it comes out at an angle because of the hair follicle that's rooted. And people with straight hair, their hair follicles are just a 360. So we don't normally see sheep with this straight hair like goat hair. You know what I'm saying? They have more so with coarse hair, just like Negroes. Africans have it too. Negroes not the only one who have it. Africans have it. You know what I'm saying? They do. But we're not the same people, but you still got that same type of follicle. Yeah. Okay. So his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. Okay, because the pastor who went on there, he had a popular following, because he started to hear about the Hebrew Israelites saying certain things, and he was like, "Oh, that's stupid that Jesus is black. He's not black. You foolish people. His hairs were just like white as wool. It's not saying that his hair was like a afro or something like that." So he stayed on 14. But if you went to the next verse, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. Okay, so when you burn something, it's black. And there's other translations that mislead too. Here it says that it was glowing. Okay. Now in Daniel's chapter 10, because by 2 or 3 witnesses let every word be established, it says he's dark skinned. That polished means burnished. Again over there. Now we go here and it says he's burnished. So we can't say he was glowing. His skin was glowing red, because nowhere else in the scripture they said when they seen Yahusha HaMashiach or any angels, they looked like they was glowing red. That's not in the scriptures. But in Daniel chapter 10, a precept to Revelations chapter 2, verse 15, it clearly states that his skin was darkened. It was a dark tone color that he was. Okay, now we're going to go to Matthew chapter 2, verse 13. Matthew chapter 2, verse 13. Now, this is when they're hiding in Egypt. Matthew chapter 2, verse 13. And when they departed, behold, the angel of El appeared to Joseph in a dream. And see, this is why I did that lesson on dreams, why it's so important, so important. If he didn't adhere to that dream that the Most High spoke to him, you know, they could have possibly put Yahusha to death right here. You know what I'm saying? To Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise and take the young child, Yahusha HaMashiach, and his mother, and flee into Egypt. And be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. Okay, so we understand as reading the Bible Compact Dictionary that Ham was the progenitor of the dark races, and one of his descendants were the Egyptians. So clearly the Egyptians are dark pigmented people. That's all throughout history. Everybody knows that up to this point. So Yahusha HaMashiach, Mary, and Joseph was told to go hide in Egypt. What does that mean? They had a similar tone. So it's like this black picture right here. Now, I'm going to spray paint black on here. Let me get black. Just to make it that's good enough. But I'm gonna put white on there too. But we see this is Africa, Egypt. Imagine Yahusha HaMashiach, dark-skinned brother, going to Egypt. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Now, why would you tell some? So they're already looking to kill him. Why would he go someplace where he's going to stick out? Wouldn't be, because he's in hiding right now. So if Yahusha HaMashiach, let's just say the Caesar Borgia, the fair-skinned individual, if he was a fair-skinned person and he went to Egypt, just imagine these little white marks is him. Where is he? Where? Oh, he's right there. He right here. This is Yahusha HaMashiach right there. I see him right there. Yeah. He would stick out like a sore thumb. So that's irrational, and Yah is not irrational to put Yahusha HaMashiach in danger. And the angel would even be like, you sure about this, Yah? He gonna stick out like a sore thumb? Yes. Yah is reasonable, so he wouldn't do that. So this is my point in bringing this out. Alright, now we're going to go to why is this important? You know? And I'm sure most people would be like, I don't know, I don't care. I'm just all about the blood of Jesus and his love. Just want to feel me. Just give me a hug, Jesus. It's important because it's in the Bible. Point blank. You know, just like when your parents say, clean up the room. Why? Because I told you so. You know what I'm saying? When Yah is putting stuff in the Bible, he's just not putting stuff in the Bible just because, oh, I was bored, so I just wrote this in the Bible. I had them write this in the Bible. It's for a purpose. Okay? Let's go to John chapter 4. Verse 22 to 24. John chapter 4, verse 22 to 24. Ye worship, ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Jews. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. Hold on. It is no, I'm in my feelings because I didn't anticipate this. I get it. Some people like, I'm shocked. I didn't know. I get it. Get over your shock, because you should always be about truth. Don't care if he's purple, olive, green, light brown, whatever he is, you know. And on different days, he might just be that. When he getting about to go kill a lot of people, he's going to be glowing red, you know what I'm saying? So you're gonna get your opportunity to worship multicolored Yahusha. Yeah, a few times in the millennial reign, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But normally, he's going to be a dark-skinned male, a dark brown male, and that's just what it's going to be. But the scripture right here says, when the true worshiper, so if you are a true worshiper of Yah, it doesn't matter what color he is. And we're going to talk about that, you know what I'm saying? When he come back, he coming back the same way he left. The same way he left. Ain't nothing going to change. Okay? This is patience. He's out of it. That's the only thing going to change it. Is his patience. He's out of it. Okay? For the Father seeketh such to worship him. So he does not seek foolish, prideful people because I have been taught this way. This is what I believe. It doesn't matter. What he is seeking is a true heart that seeketh him in purity. Verse 24. Yah is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So, if you have this Caesar Borgia statues all over your churches, you know, this is one in Brazil. They got a big about a 50-foot statue down there. But if you're worshiping Yahusha HaMashiach, whenever you worship him, and this is in your mind, you got a problem. And we're going to talk about it in a second, because he says he's looking for followers to worship him in truth and in spirit. It is better to say, you know what, I don't know how he looked, I don't care how he looks, than to put things up like this and say praise him. Because this ain't in the Bible. This ain't in the Torah. This ain't in the New Testament for New Testament lovers. This ain't in nowhere. You know, some people don't go to the New Testament.
Well said.
Wherever you want to worship him at, that ain't in the Bible. So, tomorrow, people are going to bow down to this image. It's a fact. And especially in the Catholic churches, got a few across the street, not too far from me. And even in Baptist church, they got this image still in there. You know what I'm saying?
I was watching a Catholic thing in Africa, man. They had the face, you know, Caesar Borgia face, and they was kissing like this too.
Yeah.
Like I said, come on, man. That was Catholic. That was having Catholic service. That's happening now today.
To this day. But what they are not doing, they're not worshiping him in truth and in spirit. Because you are giving reverence to another. Even the intent might be there. The intent might be there. But the truth ain't there. So if truth there, you're not on his good side. He's not accepting to your praise because you are bluntly doing it to another. And then the big one, he says, don't make any graven images. To cut all this out, don't even make no graven image. So now we're going to go to Revelations chapter 2. 4 to 5. And it don't matter who. Yes, this is a Caucasian version. It don't matter if it's. He could be African ham. Hey, go on, put a Hamite up there. Don't put a Mexican, Asian. Don't even put a Negro up there. Don't put none of them in there. Cause the first thing he said, no graven image, none. Yeah, I wouldn't even do that, but don't even do this stuff, cause why did Satan do this? Because they desire an image. They always want an image to worship. That's when they came out of Egypt. What they won't give us an image to worship. We want something to worship that we can see. But if you had the spiritual eyes, you could see him everywhere. Revelations chapter 2, verse 4 to 5. Because he is not about this prideful. He's not a prideful, quote unquote, He doesn't want it. He wants true relationship. He doesn't want idol worship. Don't put all these idols everywhere, all these places. Put me in where an idol can't go, in your soul, in your heart. That's where I want to dwell. I don't want to dwell on the top of a mountain doing this. He is a living Yah. He's a moving Yah. He's not a stagnant Yah. Okay? Revelations chapter 2, verse 4 to 5. Nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love. Remember therefore from whence thou art fallen, and repent, and do the first works, or else I will come unto thee quickly, and will remove thy candlestick out of his place, except they repent. What is this first love? Getting back to how he wants. What's the first love? He said, don't make no idols. Worship in truth and in spirit. This is not worshiping in truth and in spirit. This is vanity. The Most High say, man, I hate vanity. So he's not going to put himself out there like that. Only the demons and fallen angels do stuff like that. Not Yah. Now we're going to go to, and again, this ain't about Caesar Borgia. He's the big time one. He's just the number one. If they come up with a Mexican one, an Asian one, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, a East Indian, Native American one, whoever it is, it's not so. He's just the big dog. Caesar Borgia is the big dog on the block. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, that thing gives so much worship. I won't be surprised if the thing did start moving, man. So much energy going to it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Shakespeare made some money off that.
All right, Acts chapter 13, verse 47. And this is when this stuff starts to affect people's salvation. Because if you anticipate something that you have been led astray to believe is going to keep you from the real salvation, and you're not accustomed to how the real salvation looks because you have not studied the word, you have not been in true relationship with El, you have just been a worshiper of anything. That's why the scriptures say, we know what we worship, ye know not what you worship. He was just not talking that just to say it. He's letting people know, hey, really vex this and really test what you're worshiping. The scripture says, don't worship a dumb idol. They can't move, they can't do anything to you. Don't fear them. So obviously, if Yah is saying this, don't deal with this stuff, anything associated with an idol, that means Yah is not in that. All right? Acts chapter 13, verse 47. Acts chapter 13, verse 47. For so hath El commanded us, saying, I have set thee to be a light of the Gentiles, that thou shouldest be for salvation unto the ends of the earth. Now right here, It is all prophecy, because Hebrew Israelites are supposed to be a light unto the Gentiles. Now, the Gentiles clearly, and even a lot of Hebrew Israelites, are being mistaught. But to offer and to guide others to salvation, they need to understand what to look for. If the ones who are leading the Gentiles to salvation are the Hebrew Israelites under the authority of Yah through Yahusha HaMashiach, one should ask, well, how do the Hebrews look? That would be my first question. Well, how do they look? We don't know. Well, I would be praying. Yeah, you said look for the Hebrews, and I'm having a hard time understanding who they are. You know what I'm saying? And it, fast. It was like Brother right there, y'all gonna reveal this way. It's the Negroes, Samantha. Them, thus said Yah. Even Leroy, even Johnny DeWine on the corner. Hey, Johnny, you gotta get up, man. You got work to do, Johnny. We gotta get you cleaned up. You got some things to do, Johnny. You can't, you hindering my salvation. You can't keep on drinking. Look, man, we're going to clean you up. Man, I got a place for you to stay. We're going to get you some help. We're going to be praying for you. Because why? Because this is their job. This is the job of the Hebrew Israelites, to be a light unto the Gentile. It never stopped. That little speed bump during slavery, multitude of times. But once they got out of slavery, multitude of times, it was back to job, back to business. Go be a light unto the world. So, if I was a Gentile, I would be upset because this is the order of the process. Yah, through Yahusha HaMashiach, gave authority to the Hebrew Israelites from the beginning, even unto now, to be a light unto the Gentile and a light unto the world. So, any Gentiles who are being misled by worshiping idols and individuals who proclaim to be Hebrew Israelites but don't fit the Hebrew Israelites, no wonder the world is in chaos. You're going to the wrong people to get light. This is another point why it's so important to find out the look of Yahusha HaMashiach and also the people, because they are tasked with this job of bringing the light to the Gentiles. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 49, verse 6. I know if I was a Jew, I'd be trying to find Hebrews left and right, man. Come on, man. Come on, Jonathan, Boo Boo, Pookie. Come on, man. You Hebrew, man. You Hebrew. You know. And think about how much favor y'all would give that Gentile for waking up some of them Hebrew Israelites to the truth. The scripture say, "Them that bless you, I will bless them." If Leroy and Poo Poo and Day Day, they get themselves together, they no longer call themselves that, and they be like, yeah, I'm a Hebrew Israelite, man. Think they gonna be out saving souls, they gonna be out ministering the word, Isaiah chapter 49. Verse 6. And he said, it is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant, to raise up the tribes of Jacob, and to restore the preserved of Israel. I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles, that thou mayest be my salvation until the ends of the earth. Whose job is it to lead the others to Yah through Yahusha HaMashiach? The Hebrew Israelites. If you don't know how they look, you're going to run into some problems. Big problems, because they're saying and teaching that character descriptions does not matter. It's all about love and accepting Christ as your Lord and Savior. That's not what the Bible says. This is why it's so important to go into the genealogy and seek the character, the look of the Hebrew Israelites, to see who they are and who they are not. Because a lot of people think our brother Esau in Jerusalem are the Hebrew Israelites. They're Hebrew because they're descendants of our father Isaac, but they are not Hebrew Israelites. That's where it stopped. They're not Israelites, and people give them billions of dollars, and they do nothing for the people because they are not a light unto the world. They're children of the devil. That's why they just take and they give nothing back. Hebrew Israelites, if they were in that position, in the right state of mind, they take and give light back. This is the purpose to help others get into the kingdom, into the millennial reign. Now, if you don't know who they are, you're going to have a hard time because Yah himself says, this is who I tasked to do this job. Even when Yahusha Mashiach came, he came for the lost tribes of the house of Israel first, and then said, hey, I come to you first, and then y'all go to the Gentiles later. Yahusha Mashiach never went to the Gentiles. That was the Hebrew Israelites' task, not his task. He's upper management, and he goes down to assistant managers to talk to and tell them what to do. Because the boss don't come down and talk to the workers, the boss talk to the managers. Alright, Zechariah chapter 8. Zechariah chapter 8, verse 23. Zechariah chapter 8, and again I spoke on this in the Gentile, in the millennial reign, how it's going to look. This is one aspect. This is in the millennial reign. So if this is in the millennial reign, why aren't you seeking this right now? Because you're either going to seek it now, or you're going to seek it in the millennial reign. Yeah, you playing dice. Thus said El of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass in the millennial reign days that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages, Gentile nations, of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that El is with you. Now at this point, clearly in the millennial reign, when Yahusha Mashiach come back and everything is clearly in order, like we know everybody who's who, but right now, this is something that people need to seek right now. Who are they? Who are these people that's going to come in the millennial reign and they're going to bring us to him? Because a lot of people misunderstand the millennial reign. They think the millennial reign is once he come back and kill everybody, everybody go into the kingdom and all peace, love, and happiness. That's not how it's going to go. After he come back, he going to do all killings. He going to put everybody back in their own nations. He going to send curses to the nations. He going to leave the door open to servants to come and worship him. It's just not, oh, he's back and let's enjoy this millennial reign. There's still going to be a lot of issues on the planet Earth. For 7 years, they're going to be burying bodies. I mean, you see how the churches have, Satan and these churches have convoluted these people understanding of things. Because everybody think that when Yahusha Mashiach come back, they're going to be in the kingdom, they're going, oh, yeah. Not so fast. It's not going to be like that, you know, at all. And that's especially going to the lessons of the Gentiles and the Hebrew Israelites in the millennial reign. Much more complicated than that. But this is just to point out that Gentiles should really have the fortitude to look and to find out who these people are, what people fit these characteristics of Yahusha HaMashiach, his look, his appearance and all this other stuff, fit these prophecies, because these are the people that are going to come in the later in the millennial reign that all these other nations are going to be seeking. So it's better to do it now than do it later. Alright, now we're going to go to the jealousy of Yah. Now we got to remember, this is Seasonable J up here. After he killed a whole bunch of the Hebrew Israelites when he come back, 2/3, because that's his number one priority when he come back. Kill 2/3 of his people because they're hard-headed and evil. That's his main priority to do. killed 2/3. I'm sure he's going to send down some thunderballs after he killed 2/3 with the Caesar Borgia 6. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that. Destroy all these idols, okay? Exodus chapter 34:13. To see how this is so important not to get caught up in worshiping something that is not Yah, not of Yah. And he's telling you, don't do this. Exodus chapter 34:13. Again, you can do whatever you want to do, but there's a price to pay. Exodus chapter 34, verse 13. But ye shall destroy their altars, break their images, cut down their groves. Verse 14. For thou shalt worship no other God, little g, for El, whose name is jealousy. Wait a minute. Okay, what is his name? Mighty One of Israel, the root of David, that's what his name. One of his other names that he go by is jealous. This being is telling you, I got a super issue with jealousy. He's not making it any excuse for it. He's telling you what it is. I am super jealous. I wrote the foundation of how to be jealous. For thou shalt worship no other God, for El, whose name is jealous, is a jealous Yah. But you don't have the diligence to seek how he truly looks, to seek him for what the scriptures say how he looks, and you just take all these damnable idols and put them up and you say that is him. So when he returns, you're looking for this, and you can say, who that Negro over there? The light in the eyes and stuff like that. That's not Jesus. That's Jesus. Now, it's funny, but it's not, because this is the same being that when he said, I'm going to kill everybody on the planet Earth, nobody stopped him. When he said, I'm about to burn Sodom and Gomorrah to ashes, nobody stopped him. When he say, I'm going to come back and all the rulers on the planet Earth, they're going to go hide under the mountains and the rocks, nobody stopped him. This is who you're making mad. Either you're stupid, double stupid, or just a plain old fool. He's telling you he's super jealous. Now we're going to go over to Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 23 to 24. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 23 to 24. Chapter 4, verse 23 to 24. Take heed unto yourselves, lest ye forget the covenant of El, your Yah, which he made with you, and make you a graven image, or the likeness of anything which El, thy Elohim, hath forbidden thee. For El is a consuming fire, even a jealous Yah. And again, people find it no fear in just putting a picture of Caesar Borgia in their wallet, putting Caesar Borgia on their screensaver, taking a picture of Caesar Borgia at their grandmother's house. I remember when I was just a little boy, Jesus used to look down on me. Especially the Catholics, they all about, bowing to it and everything. This is the same being who just told you he's a consuming fire, letting you know when he see these things, he is not pleased. And you convolute his and take his true image away from him, because when he comes back, you're going to be an enemy to him because you're not going to see him as him. That's not in your mind. Negro, Jesus ain't in people's mind. Call him whatever you want to call him. Christ, Jesus, Yahusha, Mashiach, Lord, whatever you want to call him. That image, that anticipation is not there. He's there. Him. Effeminate, and a lot of them, see, Jay's pictures are very effeminate. He's limp, he's very effeminate. And this super masculine, consuming fire, make Hulk Hogan looks like a wimp coming. He's like the Incredible Hulk, just raging with energy and power and authority. And jealousy. And they're looking for him. When he comes, they're going to be afraid of him. Because they're not understanding what is coming. Joshua chapter 24, verse 19. Joshua chapter 24, verse 19. And Joshua said unto the people, Ye cannot serve it, for he is holy. He is a jealous Yah. He will not forgive your transgressions, nor your sins. So when he comes back, and he's telling these people, serve him in truth and in spirit. This is what Joshua is trying to get the point. Look, man, he a killer. He a killer. He a killer. He ain't playing with you. What he told Moses, move out the way while I kill them all. That's why, who stopped him when he was ready to kill everybody on the planet Earth? Nobody. Did he want to do that? No. But it was so much sin that he said, man, I'm done with this. Moses, you, your sons, get some women for them. Let's go. And that was that. Nobody stopped him. So when he comes back, you have to have an image and an understanding of him right now. And that even goes to the Hebrew Israelites. You have to have an understanding of them right now, or you will be tricked into worshiping things like this. Giving your sincere help to people who proclaim to be the people but are not. You are laden with sin because you refuse to worship him in truth and spirit. And the way you worship him in truth and spirit is you pick up that book and you open Genesis chapter 1. And you go through Genesis, Judges, Samuel, Psalms of Solomon, John, Matthew, and all these scriptures, and look for the character and the look of him, because it's in here. It's not ambiguous. Okay? Now we're going to go to John 24. John chapter 20, John 4:24. John 4:24. Yah is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. Just to continue on this point, this is a serious thing. And nothing about Yahusha HaMashiach is not in this book. Nothing. You're not doing your studying. You're not asking for wisdom. You're just waking up and just doing whatever's presented in front of you. John chapter 14, 5 to 14. John chapter 14, 5 to 14. Thomas said unto him, Elohim, we know not whither thou goest, and how can we know the way? Yahusha said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man come unto Father, but by me. So, everybody who went to get to the Most High by Him never went. Anybody who has this image in their mind when they go, they prayers, nah, man, you ain't going nowhere near Yah. You go near Him. Everybody who's praying, all these people praying, all about 100 people down here talking about Jesus, 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 help, Jesus, 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 I need help, I need help, I need help, Jesus. Those prayers went about probably about right to that little brown little block right here, and then it came back down like an air ball, going nowhere, because you don't worship Him in truth and sincerity. I understand you're having spiritual matters in your life, yeah, because Satan comes down as an angel of light. You know what I'm saying? Satan will walk past you and breathe on your neck. I'm here, my child. that don't mean it's Yah. Just because you got a feeling of some spiritual around you. Yeah, it's called the devil. Okay. We continue. Yahusha said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father, but by me. If ye had known me, ye should have known my Father also. And from henceforth ye know him, and have seen him. Philip said unto him, Elohim, show us Abba, and it sufficeth us. Yahusha said unto him, have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? How many people, man, I'm telling you, they've been with their life with this person, Jesus Christ, etc. Said, I've been with you, a faithful follower, for 30 years, 50 years, and when they see him, nah. This must be, I must came in the wrong door. This must be for the Negro heaven. This can't be. This can't be what I think it is. You know what I'm saying?
The only one.
You be like, no, you can check. That's the only one. You know what I'm saying? All doors lead to Mesa Man. He that hath seen me hath seen the Father. If Jesus is black, that means everybody black up there. Guess who else black? Lucifer. Everybody, a lot of people get all mad, all the white man and devil, white man and devil. Oh, no. White people have been led to do a lot of evil things. But the devil? Oh, the devil a black person.
He was out evil.
That's right. So when old Lucifer came down here, oh, that skin was bronze. That skin was dark brown, chocolate, mocha. It wasn't Caucasian. So that's another thing that us Hebrew Israelites got to realize. The devil look like you. The devil look like. A lot of people have been confused to say, man, the devil look like something that the devil don't look like. Yeah, the devil can change up and all that, but the devil came just like Yahusha HaMashiach came. Just like everybody, the angels came. When the angels came to Sodom and Gomorrah, them some brothers. Everybody up there. Alright? Finish in verse 9. He that hath seen me hath seen the Father. And how sayest thou then, show us the Father? And that was on a deeper spiritual level too, because Yah is the power, is the dwelling of the Almighty. Believest thou not that I am in the Father, and the Father in me? The words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but the Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works. Believe me that I am in the Father, and the Father in me, or else believe me for the very works' sake. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than those shall he do, because because I go unto my Father. Now again, how can you do these marvelous works when you don't even understand the look and how Yahusha HaMashiach looks? How can you get to the spirit if you won't even acknowledge the physical? How can you get the spirit? How can you get the spiritual elements when you don't want to admit that you got a sore on your right arm? I don't see that. I don't see that. It's not there. No, it is there. Yahusha HaMashiach is a dark-skinned brother. Simon was a dark-skinned brother, so dark they called him Niger. Adam came out of the dirt, soil. And anybody who was a planter, all they wanted that dark, rich soil. They don't want nothing else to plant no apple trees, no plum trees, and nothing else. But you won't admit what he is for your own salvation purposes. This is for your salvation purpose. I'm cool with him. If he was yellow green, he just happened to be a brother. So he just happens to be a brother. So whatever he is, it is what it is. All right. Verse 13. And whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. How you gonna go to Yah and you got the image of Caesar Borgia, a devil, an idol in your mind? Oh God, I need your help. In the name of Caesar Borgia, I pray you. This is what you got in your head, ingrained in your head. Sweet baby Jesus of Bethlehem. Oh, he was a bright child. This is the image that Satan has got in your head to confuse you. It's very dangerous because it hinders you from the true power. He just told you he's jealous. He will give his glory to not one other. But you're not taking this serious, and anything that's presented in front of you, you're just going to worship it. Verse 14, if ye shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. Okay, again, that's why Satan put out these idols and imagery to convolute your mind. So when you do pray, these abominable images are in your psyche, in your mind, and Yah is just looking at it like, nah. You ain't coming up here with that. All right. John chapter 10, verse 1. Even I remember that episode of This Time for Florida Evans. They had Ned DeWino and they had Caesar Borgia, and she said, and that show was directed by Jewish people too. Like I keep saying, these people do this on purpose. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They do it on purpose. But in the episode, she refused to take down that idol. Ned DeWino, the reputation of Christ was bad because he wasn't supposed to have that either. But that was even super bad. You know, the Caesar Borgia image, and she said both of them stay up there. Y'all grew up, people old enough to remember that? Dang shame. And you got some people, grandmothers, mainly be grandmothers, refuse to take that. Martin Luther King, JFK, and White Jesus. They refuse to take them three down. Especially White Jesus. Now, I don't know what Martin Luther King did for you, because he said, I feel I did my people a disservice. That was his last speech. I don't know what JFK did for you. Anybody can tell me what John F. Kennedy did for you.
They made sure they had plenty of boots.
I guess so.
That's what your father was, a bootlegger.
Okay, and I don't know what Caesar Borgia did for you. I don't know one thing Caesar Borgia did for you. He didn't wake you up. He didn't give you a good night's sleep. He didn't give you no money. He just there.
I was painted. I was painted by Shakespeare.
All right. John chapter 10, verse 1. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbing up some other way, anybody try to get to him, Yah, through Yahusha HaMashiach, Christ, Yah, the Most High, by any other way, the same is a thief and a robber. This is a thief and a robber. Thieves and robbers the Most High is not pleased with. And them that join in with thieves and robbers. And how innocent are you when Yah told you, don't make an idol? Simple as that. Forget the color thing, the false image of it. He told you, don't do it. Don't do it. How do you even get over that step right there? Before you get to, oh, that don't even look like him, you gotta face the fact that he said, don't make it. Don't bow down to him. 2 Corinthians chapter 11. Again, you can play with him if you want to. He gonna kill you. And then put you in hell. And torment your soul for eternity. Probably beat you with a statue of C.J. Bojay. Worship. Them demons ain't got nothing to do all day down there. You do what you want to do. But, you keep playing with somebody. If somebody come up and kill everybody in the theater, they say, man, if y'all do it again, I'm coming back. Hey, man, you probably want to take them serious. If he killing everybody on the planet Earth, killing Sodom and Gomorrah, and then come back, I'm going to kill my people when I come back. So, man, that's why the scriptures say, the fear of Yah is the beginning of understanding. If you feared him, you wouldn't do this. But you don't fear him. Fear to most worshipers of the Most High is just another word. Oh yeah, fear him. It's no substance, it's no meaning, it's empty. There's no fear there. That's why they can do this whoredom and worship these idols and worship not according to truth and spirit. Because it's zero fear. So when he comes back, he's just going to be slaughtering so many people, man. Man, they don't fear that. They don't get it, man. But when you watch a scary movie, you up in there shake, oh! Man, turn the lights on, turn the lights on. Ain't going to be no turn lights on, Yahusha. She got to come back, man. It's just going to be like... That's why he said, man, because none would answer when I call, I will send their fears upon them. And some people fear might be a black man with a sword, like this. Which is Yahusha, the KKK, you know what I'm saying? Some hardcore racist people, you know what I'm saying? Like, even some Negroes, like, I would have never thought. Hey, can't be. You got some Negroes, they'll live and die by this image. All right, 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1 to 4. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1 to 4. Would to Yah ye could bear with me a little in my folly, and indeed bear with me. I hope this is it. For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy, for I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Yahusha HaMashiach. And these are supposed to be the roles of leaders in these over the flocks and whatnot. Don't worship that. You got put that down. That's like close your legs, wear a short, wear a long dress, keep yourself modest. You know what I'm saying? He wants you to be presentable to Yahusha HaMashiach. And if you have this in your mind of Yahusha HaMashiach, you're not a chaste virgin. You a whore. You an idol jumper. Especially in Catholics, they got Michael angel, Raphael angel, all type of angels, Mary angels, all type of whoredom idols they jumping on. This, got the rosary, this, etc., etc. For I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Yahusha. But I fear, lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so cunningness So your minds should be corrupted from the simplicity that is Yahusha HaMashiach. For if he that cometh preaches another Yahusha, this ain't him. This ain't in the Bible. Puerto Rican Jesus ain't in the Bible. White Jesus ain't in the Bible. East Indian Jesus ain't in the Bible. None of these are in the Bible. So, as Paul said here, what has took place? Another Antichrist, the real Antichrist, has come. Right here. That is against the real Christ. And they worship another Christ, whom we have not preached. Paul, the disciples, Daniel, the prophets never preached this Christ. He fits no characteristics of Christ. I understand certain people want to have an image of something. Oh man, I get it. But that is not even depicted in the Bible at all. Or if ye receive another spirit, which ye have not received, or another gospel, which ye have not accepted, ye might well bear with him. Okay? Now we're going to go to the next one. Is Galatians chapter 1. Verse 6 to 10. Galatians chapter 1, verse 6 to 10. I marvel that ye are so soon removed from him that calls you into the grace of Christ, unto another gospel, which is not another, but there be some that trouble you, and would pervert the gospel of Christ. This image that they are worshiping is the beast. And they have perverted the gospel to give the glory to another. Again, nobody on the planet Earth can find Caesar Borgia in the Bible. Nowhere. Can you find a Negro type of Christ in the Bible? 100% facts. But though we are an angel from heaven, preach another gospel unto you, then that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. Everybody who put up this image, every last person who bowed down to this image, every last person who made this image is cursed. You want to know how to be cursed? Bow down to that. Bow down to that picture. You're cursed. You can't keep relying on ignorance, because the scriptures say, at time past, he winked at your ignorance. If you can't read, you can listen to the Bible. If you can't read, there's some people ain't got nothing to do, they'll read the Bible to you. What that say right there? You know, if you're blind, there's Braille. You can read it with your hands. It's no excuse in this time. Even going back to the 1900s, you had scholars back then. Going back to the 1800s, you had black people who could read, who could get into the Word. There's no excuse. And if black people could read back then, there's no excuse for white people to worship this stuff. There's no excuse for Asians to worship this image. There's no excuse for Mexicans to worship this image. Nobody. Because you can read, and you know dang on well that's not in the Bible. And even nowadays, because people are so coming against this stuff and calling it fake, and when they go against this image and call it fake, what Satan has really done is called the Bible fake. Well, that's a lie, and that's been going on for so long. This is a lie too. It's just full of lies. This ain't got nothing to do with the Bible, besides the fact he say don't make graven images. Besides the fact he says, I don't look nothing like that. But because people are going to find out that this is not the true image, they're going to go to the Bible and say, man, if that's a lie, this must be a lie. Why would the Most High allow these images to be if he don't want these images? You got free will. You do whatever you want to do. Okay? The serpent, but you see how it goes, because people are going to get mad, because most people are going to be like, I've been taught a lie, and I'm turning away from it all, instead of turning away from the misteachings.
Yeah.
Verse 9. As we should before, so say, I now again, if any man preach another gospel unto you, then that ye have received, let him be cursed. Again, that church across the street, cursed. That church across the street over there, cursed. That church across the street over there, cursed. I'm sure they put a white C4J. They ain't got no problem. So they over there cursed. You see what comes up when you mess with these idols? You're cursed. I'm not cursed. The Bible says you cursed. I'm sure you have nightmares. You don't look that healthy. You don't look that blessed. You look like you got about 5 more years. But you're blessed. Your daughter's a whore. Your son's a habitual liar. And your wife has a drinking problem. What a blessed life. Sound like a curse to me. But by all means, worship how you feel comfortable worship. My granddaddy did it. My pappy did it. I did it. And my children did it. Do whatever you want. For I do now persuade man, or Yah. Or do I seek to please man? For if I yet please man, I should not be the servant of Christ. That's why I'm in part of millennial reign. We're going to be bashing the hell out of these graven images. We're going to be sending all type of battering rams to these things, because this will not be here. It should not be here. It should not be ingrained in your mind. It's leading you astray. And when the real Yahusha HaMashiach comes, you're not going to accept him, because you have been programmed to believe this, that this is acceptable. It's unacceptable. Acts chapter 1, verse 6 to 11. It is no round 2 when you go to hell. It's only the conclusion of your sins as you're being tormented in hell. Ain't no amount of sorry you're going to say. Ain't no amount of apologies, no reverence. Thou art the truth, Yah. Thou art the truth. Holy, holy is thou. Say whatever you want to do. Once you in hell, that's it. Acts chapter 1, verse 6 to 11. When they therefore were come together, they asked for him, saying, Elohim, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? Again, it's always been on Israel's mind, when we get our kingdom back. That's what's coming. What we lost is coming back. That's it. And he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons, which the Father hath put in his own power, but ye shall receive power after that the Ruach HaKodesh is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me, both in Jerusalem and in all Judea, and in Samaria, and unto the uttermost parts of the earth. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. And so he left Negro Christ. Yahusha HaMashiach. See this black man just floating up, however it went into the clouds. We say that's how this is. See you later, Yahusha. You know what I'm saying? All that. And while they looked upon steadfast towards heaven, as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, Galilee? Why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Christ, this same Negro man that got floated up is the same Negro man that's going to be floating back down on the mountaintop. That same one. If this came, this Caesar Borgia imposter came, the disciples would be like, who is you? Who you? It is me, no, y'all rebuke you. Satan, get behind me. That's what they would say to this imposter. This same Yahusha which is taken up from you into heaven shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. So the same Yahusha HaMashiach that went up in them clouds is the same one coming down, but this time he doesn't have as much patience as when he first came. So this is why it's so important to testify the true appearance and look of Yahusha HaMashiach, because if we don't establish that, many people who possibly could have been saved from worshiping these idols, not even just because it's an idol, it's because the imagery of it too is wrong as well. That we can try to pull them out to correct them, like, hey sister, hey brother, or so and so, his image is in the Bible. And let's go into the scripture and I'll show you, but I can't find that in the Bible. So you have some soul searching to do for yourself, because he's very jealous. And I first checked in Genesis, he killed everybody on the planet. He's nothing to play with. But that was the lesson on the importance of the appearance of Yahusha HaMashiach. And yes, his appearance is in the Bible, well documented. So are the Hebrew Israelite appearances. So I pray the lesson went out in truth and sincerity. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.